Today we are making a whole chicken dinner. Chicken thighs, stuffed mushrooms, mashed potatoes. Just in time for Father's Day. Let's get started.
Good things are coming. Good things.
Alright, before we get started, I want to remind everybody that cooking should be fun and relaxing, so let's grab our relaxing juice. Cheers. Alright, so let's get started. Our menu today is baked chicken, mashed potatoes, and stuffed mushrooms. We'll have to do the potatoes first because they take the longest, okay? And you're gonna want potatoes. Every guy likes potatoes, all right? I don't care if his parents were murdered in an alley by a giant potato. He's still gonna want to eat mashed potatoes. He'll be like, oh man, it's tragic. Are those garlic potatoes? All right, hand them over, all right? So let's get started. I'm gonna speed through the peeling and chopping process. It takes a long time. I've done mashed potatoes before. You've all seen it, okay? All right, now we have our potatoes all diced up and peeled. Hoping you guys can see this. There's this cloudy layer on top of the water. That's the starch. We need to rinse this off before we start to boil our potatoes. That way we get fluffier mashed potatoes. All right, it's time to put our pot on the stove top. Okay, we need to start with cold water so that way our potatoes cook evenly. This is gonna take about an hour, hour and a half, so, plan accordingly. All right, I think it's time to take my manager to the park. She is bouncing off the walls. See you guys in an hour. Okay, we're back from the park. Potatoes are almost done. Hopefully we'll get those done at the same time as our mushroom and our chicken. All right. Today for our chicken, we have skin on, bone in chicken thighs. The bone and the skin are gonna make everything more flavorful, and your dad deserves something special today. And every dude loves a good thigh, all right? Just ask your mom. Wow. Anywho, so we're gonna get to seasoning. You're gonna want a fork or a paring knife, and we're gonna just jab this chicken. Alrighty, and we're done with that knife. This is gonna help all of our seasonings get a bit further down into that chicken. Next, we're gonna hit it with some salt. Okay. Bit of black pepper. And do some onion powder. Bit of garlic powder. And a bit of paprika. Just a little dusting. Okay, we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Yeah. All right, and now we're gonna bake this thing skin side up so that the skin gets nice and crispy. But before that happens, we're gonna let this chicken rest in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes without any covering on it. Okay, that's going to dry out our skin making it a little crispier, and it's also going to give our spices a chance to soak. It's going to give our spices a chance to soak into the meat. All right, so see you guys then. All right, while we have the chicken drying out in the fridge, let's get to our mushrooms, shall we? We're going to use some baby portobellos, but we have some prep work to do beforehand, all right? There we go. I have about, half a tablespoon or so right here. You can go up to a full tablespoon if you want to. I'm also going to do about a tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to let that melt on our stovetop on about a low heat or so. I just want everything to melt and mingle while we get stuff going. All right, you're going to need a couple cloves of garlic, so have those handy. But let's get our mushrooms dressed, shall we? I'm going to try to do about 5 today. So we're going to take the stumps off, and we're going to wash off the cap, all right? So I'll speed through all that. Alrighty. All right, next, we have this little gill stuff underneath the cap here. I'm going to try to remove those with a spoon. All right, apparently that'll change the color of our cheese at the end. If it's too much of a pain in the butt, you can just kind of leave those because they won't change the flavor, it'll just change the way they look. All right, and there we have them. It wasn't too hard to remove that little membrane. There you go. But like I said, I don't think it'll change the flavor. It'll just change the way they look at the end. All right. So next, we're going to set these guys to the side. You're going to need a clove of garlic. We're going to crush this guy into our butter and olive oil mixture. And we're going to let it cook until you can start to smell that garlic going. I think that'll be like a minute or two. I'm going to have this on a low, by the way. Low heat. Now to that pot, we're going to add about, I'd say about a tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. Just for some flavor and color. All right, and last but not least, we're going to add this sweet cooking sake to that frying pan. Again, about a teaspoon or so. If you don't have cooking sake, if you can't get any, a white wine will do the same thing. Gonna give her a quick stirring. Alrighty, and now we're gonna put our mushrooms in there. We're gonna do cap side up first. Now, let's see here. I think we're gonna put the lid on and let it saute for about like 5 minutes or so, and then we're gonna flip them over. We're gonna let the mushrooms get nice and soft all the way through is what we're trying to do. Yep, and it's probably snack time for this little monster. So, see you guys then. All right, our mushrooms are looking good. I have flipped them over. I put a timer for about 2 minutes or so. We're going until they're about soft all the way through. That's all we're doing, all right? In the meantime, I thought I'd teach everybody a pretty nice little sauce you can do. It's kind of an all-purpose sauce for baking or barbecue or whatever. We're gonna start with about, I'd say about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. I'd say a couple teaspoons of soy sauce, maybe a tablespoon. Crush some garlic in there. I got this lemon infused olive oil. I'm just going to give it a dab. You don't need this one, but it does help. About a teaspoon of honey. And we're going to mix this guy. Oh, hang on one second. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of basil paste. My wife loves basil, so a little bit of that ought to do pretty good. And now we're going to coat our chicken with this sauce. All right, be right back. And now we're just going to baste it on there. Get the other side too. Don't forget the bottom side, everybody. And now just to build a depth of flavor and a little bit of richness, we're gonna put a bit of butter on our chicken thighs. Not a lot. We just want the flavor. There we go. I'm going to stick these in my oven. I have my toaster oven heating up to 375 degrees. Yep. Please, for the love of George, wait for that thing to be done preheating before you stick these in there. So that way your skin is nice and crispy. Yes. I put the chicken in the oven at 375 degrees for about 16 minutes or until the internal temperature reaches about 160 to 165 degrees, all right? You can get away with a little bit more, but yeah, you're kind of pushing it. It might get a little bit dry, okay? So while that's happening, let's finish our mushrooms. Look at these beautiful puppies right here. Nice and soft, I hope. Boop. Okay, nice and tender. Now all they really need is a little bit of cheese. All right, now we're just gonna take a square of mozzarella. If you have shredded mozzarella, I'm sure that's better. But this is what I have, so it's what I'm using. There we go. We're gonna stuff all these mushroom caps. All right, sorry about that. As I was saying, we're just gonna stuff all these mushroom caps with some mozzarella cheese. All right, you can do just about anything with these mushrooms when they're at this point. My mom actually stuffed some with some beef that she had done, like she had some leftover steak and she cubed that up and put it in there. She said it turned out pretty good. You could definitely use pork. Of course, she used full-size portobello mushrooms, so that was her main dish. Here you go. Alrighty. Our cheese is looking all right. Our mushrooms are looking filled up. So we're going to pop this into a 350 degree. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to pop this into our oven on a broil, a high broil. Okay. And we're going to keep them there until the cheese gets bubbly and melty. All right. With the lid off. Ladies and gentlemen, if you had blinked, you would have missed it. They were only in the oven on broil for about a minute or so, minute and a half. And that thing browned up quickly, all right? Now, I did forget something. I was gonna throw in some spinach, and it just slipped my mind. That just kind of happens in life, especially when you're a parent. Am I right, moms and dads at home? So what we can do, there we go, is retroactively, I'm going to rinse off this spinach. I'm gonna dice it up, I'm gonna toss it in. And while I'm waiting for the chicken to get done, this will soak up all the rest of those juices and taste delightful. So here we go. All right, with some shredded spinach is gonna go right into our frying pan. Turn the heat back on for about a minute or two and let that spinach get cooked and soak up all those juices. I think that's gonna be delightful anyway. Our potatoes are done, they're cooked through. If you can poke a fork through them, that means they're nice and soft, that means they're done. We're gonna drain our potatoes and then we'll get to mashing. Okay, potatoes are drained, they're nice and soft. How can you tell if they're done? Fork goes through, no problem, all right? So now we're gonna mash this. We're gonna toss in about, I'd say a tablespoon of butter or so. And then we're gonna start throwing in milk until the potatoes get nice and fluffy. Here goes our butter. Might need more of that, so there you go. I just say add butter to taste. And we're gonna start pouring in whole milk, about a tablespoon at a time. All right, looks pretty good now. I say that is about a quarter cup or so of milk, whole milk. All right, let's taste for butter. That's pretty good. 1 more tablespoon of butter. This is unsalted butter, just so everybody knows. I will salt it later on. There you go. If all you have is salted butter, go right ahead. All right, I'm done mashing. Bit more salt on that one. Don't be afraid to salt these a bit heavily. There's a lot of potatoes. They can absorb quite a bit. And we're gonna throw in some black pepper. If you like white pepper, go for it. Black pepper's my go-to. There we go. And we're gonna stir it in. That is perfect for me. There we go. Remember, season this the way that you like it, or the way your dad likes it, okay? I'm not important. You are, because you're the one cooking it. Or your dad is, because you're the one cooking it. But this is perfect for me. The alarm just went off for the chicken, so let's check that. Okie dokie, we got our chicken here. Mushrooms are done. Potatoes are over there on the stovetop, still nice and warm, still nice and fluffy. I'm gonna get to plating, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Yeah, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Chicken, mashed potatoes, stuffed mushrooms. I am very excited to try these. And I did some broccoli. Yep, on the side too. All right. Any dad's gonna love this. Yep, we need to take a taster. Let's try these mashed potatoes first. Nice and fluffy. Manager approves. Let's get one of these mushrooms. Try this guy.
What the hell happened?
An explosion of flavor!
This is crazy good. Sweetheart, would you like the mushroom? See what Mama thinks. Good? Mama is thumbs upping the mushrooms. And last but not least, I do need a knife. We're gonna try some of this chicken. Still nice and tender. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Nice and tender. It's nice and juicy. Let's give her a taster.
That's what we're after right there, fellas. There she is. Ooh, somebody get me a beer.
Oh my God, that's good. Yeah. All right, I hear ya. Manager needs her cut. Here you are. This is fantastic. I think the most complicated of all of these dishes is the mushrooms, and you can figure that out, all right? Put a little effort in there, you can try it. If that's too complicated, do the broccoli, mashed potatoes, and chicken thighs. Your dad is gonna love it. Whoever you make it for is going to love it. They are super delicious. If you don't want to do mashed potatoes, I have a parsley buttered potato dish. I'll put a link right here that would go perfectly with this chicken. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for me today, everybody. Please give me, let me know in the comments down below if this helps you out. Let me know how your dads like it, how your husbands like it. I bet you they will be thrilled. Send me a message on Instagram or X. I'll put the socials right here, dads_cooking. I will put the recipes and instructions in the description down below like normal. There you go. Please give me a like and a subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize the channel. There you go, a little bite. Little bite. Mogu. Yep. There you go. Mogu, mogu. If you want to support the channel, please buy a t-shirt. Go to a merch store, buy yourself a t-shirt or a hat or something. Let's see. If you want a couple more ideas for recipes, I'll put a playlist at the end here that you can look at for different ideas. I think that's it for today, everybody. I'm gonna take this and go have some supper with my family. Have a good night and happy Father's Day to everybody. Bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. All right, this is Father's Day. So the bone and the skin are gonna help make everything more. The bone and the skin are gonna make the bone and the skin. Ooh. All right. So now we're gonna pop this pot on to the stove top. We need to have cold water so that way our. Alrighty. While the chicken's in the fridge, drying out. All right. I'm gonna try something. Sorry, folks. All right. Our mushrooms. We're looking. I hear you. Okay, fine.